Coup d'etat sunset. Sunset sound.
Hello and welcome to Coup d'etat's one-on-one session where we get to sit down with, well in this case we're going to be standing up with one of our guest performers who's performed at KDT, and on Sunday we had all the way from the UK, Groove Assassin. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to be here.
Now the first question to you, and which is we're all interested in wanting to know, what is the story behind the name Groove Assassin?
Oh, Groove Assassin. Wow, it's a hard question. A long time ago, really, when I first started off producing, when I was like 16. I actually started out with like two of us. There was the Groove Assassins up until about like 10 years ago. It was my partner at the time who came up with the name. I don't know why he came up with the name Groove Assassins, but I don't know, it's kind of stuck from there. People know me by that name now, so that's the name I tend to keep going with and just keep it going really under Groove Assassins. So.
Now you cite soul, funk and disco as your influences. What music do you really get into? What's your favorite?
Yeah, I mean that's my kind of the basis of kind of where it all started for me. Started producing like early 90s, and I'm not coming from like a musician kind of background, more of a DJ background, so I was kind of using like disco samples, disco loops, cut up samples, getting into that sound. Influence for me, anything like Curtis Mayfield, Norman Connors, Roy Ayers, all that kind of sound really. Growing up from an early age, older friends that were DJs, disco DJs, just getting into the stuff that they were playing, they were listening to, and then it was kind of a natural progression from there into the house kind of music scene really. So
you said you started off in the 90s DJing. How did you get into DJing and then into production?
It was actually my cousin. He's a couple of years older than me, and he was going down the local record store buying records, and then we were hanging out on the like Saturday afternoons on the weekends. He'd take me down to the record store. I mean, this was probably when I was like 13, 14, buying little bits of pop music and some like early like hip housey kind of style stuff like that, and then hooked up with a couple of friends he was running like an early version of Cubase on a VST computer, just making little bits of music, edits here and there and stuff, and yeah, just learned through that really. Went on a couple of courses doing like studio production and bits and bobs like that, and just took it from there. So it's just progressed from there.
Now, did you get into Miami this year?
I did, yeah. Very briefly though. I was in Miami for like 3 nights because I had a gig in New York at Cielo on the Friday night. So I was in Miami Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then flew out to New York on Friday. Played Cielo on the Friday night, and then a place called Pearl in New Jersey on the Saturday night. So Miami was just a kind of brief trip for me. I played one gig there on a Thursday night, party called the Fusion Records Party. There's some guys called Frankie Estevez, George Mina, Jose Burgos, DJM Project, kind of like a cool New York kind of sound. So,
sure. And what was any big tracks for Miami this year?
I think the big track on a soulful kind of tip was the track by the South African producer called Black Coffee, entitled Superman. Yeah, that track was everywhere. You could hear every party you walked into, it was kind of banging every party. So, and then also another cut by Heaven Everett, his new track called Burning Hot by Timmy Regisford. That's a really hot track. So yeah, that's going to be a big one to look out for.
Now, which DJs, producers or musicians have inspired you in the past?
From the early days, early 90s, I'm most definitely like Masters at Work, people like Roger Sanchez. I mean, he was a big influence on me. His style's changed a lot now, a lot different to what he used to play, but he was definitely one of my favourite DJs at the time. People like Todd Terry, Merck, all the early stuff that they were playing, and then from like the disco area, people like Tom Moulton, Paul Simpson, DJ Smash, all these guys really. So
what's your favorite place to play? Where and why?
Place to play? That's a very hard question. I don't know. depending on the style really. I kind of vary styles. I can go from kind of like deep soulful to techie to more harder stuff. So every venue is different, every party is different. Maybe like a daytime party or a nighttime party. Sound system wise, I think probably the CLO in New York is the tightest place for a sound system. They're running like a Function One system there, which is incredible. And then I played up in Singapore on Saturday night, just gone, at a place called Stereo Lab. And they had like a SBS shorty system. Incredible sound there. So that was pretty cool. And then obviously here, man, hanging out, the beach.
Well, it is different here, isn't it?
So, and it's great to play a different kind of eclectic kind of set. That's the music I listen to when I'm chilling out at home, relaxing. So it's good to kind of get to play that kind of stuff. And the closest I can kind of put it to is like Cafe Del Mar in Ibiza. We played there a couple of times back in the 90s, filling in for Jose Padilla. When he had his nights off on like a Wednesday night, I'd go down there, and he was a big influence on me as well. So it's just good to get to play that kind of style.
Now, have you been to Bali before?
First time in Bali.
And what's your impressions of it?
Amazing, yeah. I don't want to leave. I leave tomorrow, but yeah, I think I'm already planning a holiday to come back with the family. So I want to come back maybe late summer after the Ibiza season, come back and chill out. But people so friendly, can't do enough for you. I mean, I've only been in town like 2 days, so I've not got the full Bali experience. But I mean, what I have seen, yeah, I really like it. So I really enjoyed it so far. So,
well, thank you for sharing your time this afternoon with us, and also for coming on Sunday to perform here at Coup d'Etat, and we hope to see you again.
For sure, definitely. I'd love to come back. So it's been an absolute pleasure. So yeah, let's hope it happens again.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. That's good.